Despite the fact that we have different technical pursuits and different visions, everyone, at least in your cohort, is at a similar career stage. And so faced with the same life decisions, faced with the same typical problems one might have, transitioning from PhD to a postdoc, but also charged with the same motivation and ambition.
When you come across a fellowship as prestigious and well-endowed as this one, I guess the first immediate reaction is to think that this is for people who have won it all, that have all of the awards, that have all of the diplomas, that have all of the things that characterize canonical careers. But this is not necessarily for those people, or not those people only.
After I get this fellowship, I start to believe I can really dream big. There's really a space for me to dream big about idea.
I think that societal impact often goes hand in hand with big ideas. We are attracted to research questions that have implications for humanity, for the globe.
And whoever wants to solve some of those challenges or problems is exactly right in our community.
The fellowship, it's named Society in Science. Society in Science was the original name, and it continues to be part of it. So we need to be constantly guided by that aspect of the fellowship.
Yeah, look around you. What are the problems you see? How can your skill set be applied to fix some of these problems?
My research for the Branco Weiss Fellowship was all about how we could improve drug transport by actually coupling drug nanocarriers to magnetotactic bacteria.
Real-world consequences of linguistic diversity for global human well-being.
I want to know how our immune system develop.
In these countries, it's millions of people that rely on fishing activities.
Mechanisms by which bats are able to host these viruses without experiencing disease themselves.
Enabling robots to do new things, which will help people stay out of harm's way.
I was very surprised to see there is a fellowship that funds such a broad spectrum of research.
Social science, natural science, engineering, architects, name it. All the different areas are not singularities.
If you don't recognize yourself immediately, either by field or by whatever other social aspects you don't recognize.
I didn't fit any of the boxes that academia stubbornly wants to push.
Still do apply. Do not be discouraged by the things you don't see, but be encouraged by the things you see.
The Branco Weiss Fellowship is truly special. It's meant for bold ideas.
You could almost call it high-risk, high-reward research.
Really the most challenging projects which have an, let's say, unpredictable outcome, but read like, wow.
The opportunity to propose something that would not get funded under a traditional mechanism. There's really a sense of trust in the fellow to know how to administer these funds in the way that is going to be the most beneficial to the success of the research.
If plans change, you can change the allocation of funds accordingly, as long as it's relevant for your project, as long as it's going to take you where you need to go.
Find the best place for your research.
It's not bound to the environment, it's really bound to you. So the fellowship also goes with you if you potentially start your own group.
There is definitely an expectation of excellence in one's work and one's effort.
The obligation is that you really work on the project during this fellowship and that you are willing to report every year in Zurich.
In a beautiful setup, and you are pampered with 4 days of talks by some of the most brilliant, interdisciplinary, innovative minds that are around.
The annual symposium was one of my highlights of the year.
I've been on all continents and gave a lot of talks, and when I came the first time to the symposium, I was impressed actually, because the tension there and the intensity to the last talk, that is really something very special. The talk is finished, and then all of a sudden, I would say 20 hands go up, and questions.
This amount of interest coming from smart and passionate people, I remember I went to bed thinking, I want more of this.
There would always be a rich and lively discussion.
You get inspired, you get ideas.
Every year I leave from this symposium remembering why I went into this field and feeling newly energized about my work.
When I was thinking about applying, I had a lot of doubts. I thought, I anyways won't get this. This is way too competitive. Should I even try?
I don't know if we'll continue being a scientist, to be honest, if I didn't get this award.
You have to fall minimum once and to have to get up, really to realize, okay, nothing is easy and nothing is obvious.
But especially for those who really passionate about what they are doing, it really doesn't matter.
And I thought, why not once more?
I decided to try again.
They're enthusiastic, they're fantastically passionate about their subjects.
Regardless of the challenges or inhibitions along the way.
Highly driven, very motivated, curious.
I remember the first time I saw an exiting talk by a senior fellow, I just felt the scope of someone's life work and their true passion, and I was excited to have the opportunity to follow in those footsteps.
We all connect in a way. Like, there is not a single fellow I would not be able to have immediately an engaging conversation.
I feel a sense of fellowship with my colleagues. I'm happy for their developments. I try to help them and support them. The same thing with me. So I feel like I have a bunch of colleagues and friends across all of these different domains. I can ask them for opinions. I can leverage their brains to think about new ideas.
Fellows from all over the globe, that means at the age of 35 or even younger, you have a network on 5 continents with extraordinary people who are all leaders in their field.
We were all building really deep relationships also that last beyond the fellowship, so the fellows are connected.
Room full of people, room full of friends, and people you're going to continue to see for many years.
So I think this message should go particular for those who are clinging there, doing absolutely bollock science, who have strong belief in what they are doing and passion.
You know your science. You know what you want to tackle next. You know how to do it.
I cannot guarantee how the outcome is, but go for it. If you don't try it, you will never figure out. And if you are in, you will feel it your entire life.
It's truly a life-changing experience.
It affected the way I see myself in the future as a scientist.
It really opened a lot of doors for me.
I think I'm less cynical now.
Maybe it also boosted my confidence a little bit.
In a way, it just pushed me to really do every year my best.
This could be your way forward, as it has been for me.